Bradfield, hello.
Hello, how do you do?
I'm good, thank you. I tilt my hat in your general direction for the performance you just gave. Very cool.
Right.
It's live at Q, giving away tickets all last week, and you played about 8 tracks, didn't you?
Yeah, I was going to do 6, and then the audience was so nice that I chucked in a couple of
carried away.
I chucked in a couple of Brucey bonuses.
Yeah, it's quite hot in there. It's quite hot and sweaty, wasn't it? Was it hot for you out there?
No, it was cool. The air conditioning was bang on.
Nice.
It was cool. It was a lovely experience actually, because I was dead nervous. You know, this is.
Why do you still get nervous?
I do get crippling nerves actually, and it's not even a nice thing. It's a terrible feeling. You just stand there thinking, why am I doing this? I'm stupid. But you get into it, and as long as the first song goes okay, then you feel fine. But you know, I was nervous because this is the start of the record for us and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it was great. It's cool.
And do you find it so exciting playing the new material? Do you find that even more nerve-wracking because you're not so used to playing it as maybe Designed for Life and things?
I think there's this tour that we're going to be doing is, we're going to do 2 sets. The first set is us playing this new album in its entirety. Then we go off for 10 minutes for oxygen and stuff and all that, and then come back on and do a greatest hits set. And I'd say I'm nervous. I'm excited, but I'm more nervous than excited because there are a lot. The way Richey wrote words is very different to the way Nick, writes lyrics. And so the first, the first half of the set is this album where we've written all the music to Richey's lyrics, and a lot of his words are just absolutely packed with intent, and they have no punctuation. So you're like, right. You're just trying to sing and get all these words out, and it takes its toll physically sometimes. But I'm nervous about that.
And how was the? Obviously you're writing his words now with your music together, all of you. Did you find it frustrating to try and think, am I doing this justice musically, and is it what he would have liked? I mean, do you still find it quite hard to? I think
at the start we'd written about 3 of the songs, so we'd put music to 3 of his lyrics, and I had a small moment where I thought, wow, the one thing I'm never going to know is whether he likes this or not. But then it all cleared in my head. I thought, well, number one, he left us these lyrics, he bequeathed us these lyrics,
right.
And I was just thinking, why would you have left us these lyrics at such an opportune moment before he went missing? He obviously wants them to be something. So I thought, the most important thing out of all this is we'd actually carry through the responsibility of making, the words live through something, through music. And that's when I just let go of being paralysed about having the fear of not pleasing Richey's aesthetic sensibilities or whatever. I just saw the most important thing is the responsibility of turning these lyrics into music. That's what he wanted. And
you doing this album, do you still find it raw to talk about? Because it's bringing it back up a bit more now, I suppose, isn't it?
No, I think there's a few things you can touch upon which perhaps get you going. But to be honest, I gotta say, when we were doing the record, I didn't really have any of those B-movie soft focus moments where I collapsed to my knees and I felt as if I couldn't go on. It's none of that, it really, because Richey's words are so engaged and they're so full of intent and they're just a raging ball of intensity sometimes. And because you sat with these words that are very unique and you want to do them justice, you become focused on the challenge. It's almost academic. You think, you really got to focus on singing these words and trying to convey what Richey was meaning. You've got to try and show people that you care. You've got to try and show people that you're mindful of all the kind of information in the lyrics. And you become so focused on all those things. And I think, any of that high emotion goes on the back burner.
Yeah.
Because you just really become involved in being in a band again. It's as close as we can come to being in a 4-piece again, and that's what you're focused
Absolutely.
on. So any of those moments where you feel as if you feel emotion welling up and you didn't really arrive in the studio, I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. That's good then. Well, there's certain ways you can, sort of do approach composition and songwriting. There's different ways where you might sort of subconsciously do word painting and stuff where you're sort of singing. I've got a nod there. I did the music degree as well. But you hear it sometimes, especially I suppose if you're not writing the lyrics and you think about the way you're writing the melody more, maybe.
I don't know. That sounded way too engaged and intelligent for me. No, I'm not. I'm not even taking the mic. It's really weird because I think being in the Manics is almost like I've been schooled in a certain sense. And I'm not saying I've been schooled by Nick and Richey, but kind of like, at the start, the very first lyric they gave me was not like a traditional lyric that I knew. It had more words in it. there were less conjunctions, there was less punctuations, there was just something there that just had to be sung, and you had to try and do it. So I've been writing songs with Nick since I was 15, and then writing songs with Richey since I was 17, 18,
Wow.
I think. So it's just kind of, it's become like a second sense. I know how to write music to their lyrics, but more than anything, I'm still trying to please them. I think that's the big thing. I'm still trying to, if I've got to leave too many of the lyrics out that Nick has given me, I feel as if I'm letting him down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always trying to fit them into another musical part, and perhaps that's where what you were talking about comes from. There's just an indelible duty to make every word count. I think.
Definitely. Well, it's the importance of lyrics, isn't it? So the album's called Journal for Plague Lovers, out on the 18th of May 2009. Now, you said to me off air a minute ago, not a massively busy summer for you in comparison to what you've done before.
Yeah, I mean, over the last 2 summers, I think we played over 40 festivals, because we committed to going to lots of places we haven't been to before. Like, we supported Bob Dylan in Croatia. We played in No, it was great. I gotta say, we played
Beautiful place, isn't it?
It was absolutely amazing. It was stonking food as well. Beer was good too. But and we played in places like Romania and Latvia, and just Singapore, Hong Kong. And this year, because we've done so many festivals for the last 2 summers, I think we're only doing around about 8 or 10 festivals this year, because we feel as if we've got to start on a new record.
Yeah.
We haven't even finished the tour for this one, but I think we feel a bit of reaction against ourselves already.
Right.
Because, the lyrics on Richey's record feel as if they deal in doubt, and they feel in a lower key in terms of general enjoyment of life, shall we say.
Yeah, you said, you said earlier, not a barbecue record.
No, it's not. No, I wish I hadn't said that now.
No, I think that's fairly spot on, really.
Yeah, no, I mean, kind of, like I said, you got to be truthful to Richey. And I think we've come out the other end of this, and we've lived within these words. And now I think we were already thinking about, we want to try and convey some joy after this. Mm-hmm. It's really strange the way you react against yourself sometimes,
Yeah, definitely. But it's something that I guess it was quite a cathartic kind of recording process, and something that needed to happen, maybe.
I think I could never be smart enough to know if I'd experienced catharsis, but I think there must be something there. There must be something of holding on to a promise for that long and achieving the promise, of fulfilling somebody else's kind of work.
Yeah,
it's something which must affect you. But any notions of closure, please exit the room, because I hate that word closure. It's just terrible.
It's a bit too American. It's a bit too simple and a bit too easy.
It is, yeah.
Looking at your website, though, loads of reaction from your fans already on hearing sort of just moments from the album as well, and lots of people saying real tearjerker. I mean, it seems people are quite open to their emotions through listening to this album. Yeah,
I mean, a lot of the opinions on our forum sometimes can be a baptism of fire, to say the least.
Does it freak you out sometimes?
To be honest, I'll be brutally honest about this. I'm not very engaged with the digital world. I've never sent an email in my life.
You're joking?
I've had other people send emails for me, and whenever I've done a blog, I've just done
typed it out on my old-fashioned typewriter.
On my Olivetti.
My dear stalker.
On my old Olivetti, thank
sat
you.
in my
With my
Chesterfield.
smoking jacket.
Nice.
But kind of, obviously there's a lot of content in there in terms of like stuff we listen to or watching or stuff that's inspiring, and I give my lists to Nick and he puts them on there.
Yeah, I just saw that. Nathan Barley, you gave a little bit of a tick to. He's hilarious.
He's very underrated, Nathan Barley. It's kind of there was a negative reaction in what we might call the centralised London press against Nathan Barley, but perhaps they were just a bit too scared to actually see that half of it was very true and based on London. I thought it was genius.
If people don't know what it is, it's a comedy. Actually, it's nothing to do with music, and it's sort of just really honing in on media, isn't it? And someone being almost just thinking they're so cool and just getting it so wrong.
No. I mean, some of it's funny. It's kind of like, good grief, man. You watch stuff like, Human Remains with Rob Brydon, and kind of he takes a pot shot of Welshness in every other sentence, So you got to be able to laugh at yourself. But it was amazing when I was recording my solo album in Hoxton. I'd go to the same cafe every day to get my cough. This guy used to walk in there and he'd have, trousers on, one leg off, one leg on, flashing badges everywhere, and kind of like a trilby hat and like glasses with laser beams coming out of him. And he'd walk in and he'd go, "All right, Luigi, spag bowl, please." And I was just like, Jesus Christ, I am in it. I am in the barley.
Amazing.
But it's like I say, it's an underrated programme.
Lots of other things. The Horrors' new album, Primary Colours, that literally landed on my desk this morning, so that's what I'm doing tonight. I've heard massively brilliant things about that.
I gotta say, I think that Horrors album is just touch with genius. It is. It's nice when a band comes along and they just exist in their own space.
Yeah.
You can't link them to anything. You can't even link them to any kind of recent history. They just seem to exist. I just think that record is brilliant.
John Frusciante, obviously from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I think that's his best solo album for ages. He had a bit of a rough period where kind of like, I think his solo career had become a bit subservient to the Chili Peppers, but now the Chili Peppers seem a bit quiet. He seems to have focused on this new record, and it's some amazing stuff in there.
Am I right in thinking that he's connected in some ways to the Mars Volta as well?
I'm not sure, actually.
I think he might be. I might have read that. That's probably irrelevant. But yes, so your album Journal for Plague Lovers is out 18th of May 2009. I should probably let you go now. I only said 3 minutes to your manager, so I'm sorry I've been chatting away.
I had a great time in school.
But we'll play your latest single, Jackie Collins' Existential Question Time, which I have mentioned before is way too long.
It's a focus track. It's a focus track, it's not a single.
A focus track,
yeah,
sorry.
That's what they call it these days, apparently.
Oh, right, I see. Okay, well, we've been playing it for about a month now and everyone's loving it, so thank you very much. Lots of feedback on the text. James Dean Bradfield, thank you very much.
Cheers, that's lovely. Thanks.
Have a good summer. Bye-bye.